speaking of Eastern things. No, that transitioned perfectly, because I want to talk about chi.
Okay.
And now that you do yoga, you can tell the whole group what chi means.
Chi means energy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's about all I know.
No, it means life energy, life flow. And I did some research on chi.
Okay.
I Googled it once. Research.
Yeah, it is.
And I found, yeah, you've done it before.
Yeah.
And I found this video of a guy at a martial arts demonstration, and he was demonstrating chi, and he was bending things with his mind. I don't know if this was real or not, I don't think it was real, but I think it was tricks, right? Now in the East, we would call this telekinesis, bending things with your mind, but in the West, they call it chi. And do you want to see the chi demonstration?
Yes.
All right. So take this card, and I'm going to take this card, hold it up like this, and we're going to bend it with our minds on the count of 3. I don't know what's funny about that.
Okay.
This is pretty serious. This is
I can do this.
1,
Stop smiling. This is serious.
2, no smiling. Here we go. 1, 2. It's not going to work if you're laughing. You know, it's okay. No. Here's what.
Okay.
You know what? This is bad. No. This is bad anyways. Because if I bend mine, you're going to think I'm cheating and just bending it with my fingers. Because I would do that, and I've been doing sleight of hand for you for however long. So we're going to make it impossible. I'm going to bend the card from inside the card box. So I'm not even going to touch it, right?
Okay.
And I'll roll my sleeves up too.
Yeah.
Just because that's what we magicians do.
I've seen that.
All right, I'll pull it out so you can see it. Now watch, ready? Watch. Just like that. And now back. Watch. Just like that. Now you can see it really is bent. You can see that crease in that thing. Yep, it's real.
Wow.
And just like that.
Wow.
And you can keep that as a souvenir of our. That's a very formal applause. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Chi Card. My name is Rick Lax, and I want to thank you for purchasing this trick. I really appreciate it. I just feel happy to be creating magic for you guys, and whenever you guys buy a trick from me and from Penguin, I'm just really happy. So thank you. And now I'm going to teach you how to bend a playing card with your mind. I hope that this is one of these tricks that you're going to learn the secret and you're going to be really happy with it. It's easy to do, and it doesn't use anything extra or anything fancy. There's no strings or wires or magnets. It's just done with the card. So I hope you like it. Let's get going. Here's a personal history of the Chi card. I was sitting around for 2 years with a deck of cards that had every single card bent like this. And I was trying to come up with a trick using a deck of bent cards. And the best thing I could come up with, and even this wasn't good at all, was taking one card that was not bent, forcing it, maybe with a classic force, and taking the rest of the cards, and as a fake demonstration of strength, I would bend all the cards like this and set them on the table, and then they would all be stacked up just like that, like a Christmas tree. That was fine. It wasn't a really good trick, though, but I could not come up with anything better until one day, I don't know what hit me, but I just said, let's take out one card and come up with a trick with one card. And the most natural thing I thought of was it would be great if I could get that card to bend somehow on its own. And after I figured that out, I figured out to move the bend lower down on the card to right here. Because that allowed me to do this cool thing of setting it up like this, then I could pretend to snap it up and then bend it in like that. And what I'm doing there is just putting pressure on the outsides of the card with my thumb going up in the middle, just like that, and then the card bends on its own. I'm exaggerating here so you can really clearly see what's happening, just like that. And there's ways to make that look okay, and I was coming up with ways to unbend it by holding it here, and then it would magically unbend with me pressing it in the other direction. And all this stuff was going good. It was going in the right direction. But then one day I had the leap that turned this okay trick into a really great trick, which was isolating the card so it wasn't even in my hands. It was in the card box. And that's the final version of Chi Card that I'm going to teach you right now. I'm going to teach you how I performed Chi Card in the demonstration video that you just saw. I did it using a duplicate card, so you're going to need 2 decks. I'm going to use blue bicycle cards, and you're going to pick one card out to be the Chi card. And I like using face cards because you're going to put a secret seam on the front of the card, and the seam is going to be harder to see if there's a busy design going on, like the design on the face of the King of Hearts here. So let's prep the Chi card right now. We're going to put a bend on the King of Hearts about 1/3 of the way up, right about here, and that's right above where the heart ends. Just like that. And you're going to give it a good crease, like that. And grab something hard, I'll use this poker chip here, and use it to put a good crease in that folded card like that. And after you do that, you can pick the card up and bend it in like this, using your thumbnail and your 2 fingers on the side. Or you can use the edge of a table like this. So you're left with a card that's really going to want to be bent up like that. And don't unbend it, because then you'll lose that tension that you want kept in there. You want it to stay bent just like that. The bent King of Hearts is going to go on the bottom of the deck just like that. And you can hold the cards in a left-hand mechanics grip, and it's very easy to conceal the King of Hearts. You can see you can't see it from the front. And if you're performing it surrounded or with people at this angle, all you have to do is push over more of the cards like that and hold it like that. So it should be very easy to conceal this card. And as you keep it concealed, also keep it bent. Remember, you don't want to unbend it, because then it's going to lose some of that tension. The second King of Hearts is going to go second from the top, just like that, and then an indifferent card on top of it. So the whole setup looks like this. Chi card on the bottom, duplicate card second from the top, indifferent card on the top. When I perform this trick, I give my patter about Chi, and I think that's important just to get people in the mindset for what's about to happen. If you want, you can just take the deck of cards out and say, look, I'm going to make the card bend, and then the card bends, and then it's just a quick, fun trick. But if you contextualize this magic moment, if you talk about Chi, and if you talk about seeing a martial arts master bending objects with his mind, your audience is going to be primed to see something magically bend. And then when they get to the end of the trick, it's going to be a more satisfying conclusion. It's not just a moment, it's something that connects up with the drama you've created earlier. So I like the pattern I came up with, but you might come up with your own that's even better, or something that fits for you. I just recommend come up with something such that when the magic moment comes, it also connects up with the story. Now, let's talk about the mechanics of how we actually get into this magic moment. At first, I wasn't using a duplicate card. I was just using the one card, and I was keeping the bend concealed in different ways. But it was my friend Shimshi who convinced me you really need to have a duplicate card, and you need to show it fairly. So that's what I do. I say we're going to bend a card with our mind, and I hand the one card to someone else. And then I take the duplicate card and I show it very fairly, just like this. And I say I'm going to try to bend it with my mind. And of course, I'm not actually going to try that. All I'm doing here is coming up with an excuse to show this card fully, because I want them to see it and see that it's not pre-bent, which it's not. So I say 1, 2, and then I say, you know what, forget it, because I don't want you to think that I'm cheating. So we're going to put the cards in the box. Now when this happens, first I take the duplicate card, I put it on the top of the deck, then I take their card back from them, and I put that on top. So by now, hopefully they weren't paying too much attention to the exact placement of the duplicate card. But even if they were, it won't be a problem. Now, the box, you'll want to pre-bend the box back so the cards slide in easy. And what's nice about this is you're going to slide in the deck, but keep the chi card out, and because it's pre-bent, it practically works itself. You just go in there, and you slide the cards in, but the chi card stays on bottom, just like that. And then I pick the deck up here, holding the chi card down here, and I unbend it for the first time, but very gently. I don't uncrease all of it, I just unbend it lightly like that. And then I place it in the deck, covering up the seam with my fingers, and I put it about 2/3 of the way in. And now I say, I'm going to do the bend without even touching the card. And at this point, I show the box very fairly, because I want the spectators to know it's not a gimmick box, there's no hole in there where I'm going to be pushing the card up or down. And now it's time to bend the card. You're going to bring the chi card up a bit, keep bringing it up until the bend is about 2 or 3 millimeters above the tops of the cards. So if I were to do it on its own like this, it would start to go forward, and you could see the seam there, just like that. This is, of course, not how you want to do it. You want to do two things. First of all, you're going to hide the seam by tilting the box back as the trick starts. So that's so they can't see that seam going through the front of the face card. You're going to tilt the box back. Also, you're going to bend the entire deck of the cards by pushing forward with your thumb and back with your fingers in the part of the hand right here. So you're just going to squeeze the box, and that's going to cause the card to stand upright until you release the squeezing pressure. So you squeeze like that, the card goes upright, and as soon as you release the tension, it goes forward like that. Let me show you that again from the side. If I squeeze the box, it goes up, and I let it go, and it goes forward just like that. Now, you don't want the card to just go on its own. You want to be the cause of this card bending. So you're going to really sell the idea that you're causing that card to bend it first, maybe like this. So as you move, the card bends. And now, this is the best part. To bend the card the rest of the way, you just have to push forward with your thumb, and again, back with your fingers, back with this part of the hand, and this card is just going to bow on its own. Let me show you from this side. I just push forward with the thumb, and the card goes down. And from the front, card's up here, I just push forward with my thumb, back with my fingers there, the card goes down. So it starts off here. First, we release the pressure to get it to bend the first part of the way, and then we put the pressure on again, and it goes forward. And again, the way you get it started is first I unbend the card here, and then it's going to bend forward. And when I bring the card up again, that's when I'm bending it. So now it's back this way, like this. I release the pressure, it bends forward, and then I push more pressure with my thumb, and it goes forward again. Now you can see, for a second there, I pushed forward with my thumb, and instead of going forward like it does most of the time, it snapped back up like that. That happens sometimes. And when it does, I just give it a little tap here, and now I say, watch, it's really going to bend. And then it does. Let's go through the whole sequence again, this time so you can see it up close. The chi card is on the bottom, there's an indifferent card on top, and then the duplicate card is second from top. After you've collected the cards like this, I'm going to take the pre-bent card box and slide all the cards except for the chi card in. And then the card box gets lifted up, and you gently unbend the chi card by pushing down with your thumb, just like that. You cover the seam with your fingers, and you put the chi card in the middle of the box, about 2/3 of the way in, and then you show that the box is totally normal. Now you're going to pull up the chi card and push forward with your right thumb, which is going to keep the chi card straight, and you pull it so the seam is a couple millimeters above the front edge of the cards, the top edge, and then you bend back so the seam is out of view. Then you let your thumb go, which causes the card to move forward a little back, and then you push forward with your thumb, which causes the chi card to bend over just like that. And the harder you push, the more it's going to go. And then if you release your thumb, the Chi card is going to come back. Let me show you again. Push forward, it goes forward, and then release the pressure, and it comes back up, just like that. Here's a tip for bending the cards. Me personally, when I squeeze my hand really hard, and you do got to push hard to make that Chi card go all the way over, when I squeeze that hard, sometimes my hand shakes a little bit. And it just does. So what I do to cover that up is I shake even more with my left hand. And I chalk this up ostensibly in the context of the trick to summoning up my Chi. The Chi is so powerful that it's causing my hand to tremor. And again, what I'm really doing there is covering up for the fact that I'm squeezing so hard that my hand is shaking by shaking more with the other hand. Now, after the card is bent, I let it bend back a little bit. And again, I'm controlling that too. I control it forward, and then I control it back. And then I'll set it on my hand like that. Or if I'm at a table, I'll set it down at the table just like this. And now, before I give the card out to the person, I want to make one more small adjustment to it. Because if I give it to them right here, they might see that bend like this, the curve here, which could go to the method of making the card bend by accentuating that curve. And I don't want them thinking that. So the last thing I do before I give it out, I slide the card out and I say, you can really see the bend in there. And then, as I pick the card up, I'm going to bend it in the opposite direction. Right now it's bent like this, and I'm going to bend it like this in the action of picking it up. So I'll exaggerate the bend here, and I'll exaggerate the pickup so you can see exactly what I'm showing. I say here, and then as I pick it up, I bend it back like that and show it that way. And at this point, you will have covered up that bend there that will have suggested something is going on. Let me show you again with another card. So it's bent like this, which gives away the method a bit, and here's how I hand it out. The card is bent. I say, look, you can really see that bend in there, and go ahead, check it out. So I undo the bend as I flip it up. And then, if they don't take the card for whatever reason, I'll put it back in the box, but this time I'll put it back with the bent edge higher to the top. And what I'm hoping to do there is create a false memory. I want to leave them with this image, and hopefully they'll remember just the top part bending over like that, which is even more impossible. That's it. I told you it was easy. Let me say thank you to my friends who helped me develop this trick. That's Justin Flom and Bizarro and Shimshi. Thank you to those guys, and thank you to everyone here at Penguin Magic. Let me say, if you liked this trick, or if you liked my teaching, I've got a couple more great tricks coming up on Penguin Magic, so stay tuned for that. And also I'll say, if you did like this trick, it would be great if you could take a minute and rate the trick and write a review of it. I know that's kind of annoying, but just as an artist, I'm really appreciative of those people who do it and who help me get the word out about what I hope is good magic. So thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for more.